from BS and Beer Media. It's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Handoff, Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going all the way. He's going to score. He's got the ball.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo. Welcome in, everybody, to the Top of the Bleachers. I'm your host, Jason Big Guthrie, and I'm here with my co-host, Tuck Scarbrough, and we're hanging out talking about NBA and NFL and all kinds of sports and just and some other stuff just for fun. We got the USA game going on right now, so we keep getting distracted. But
yeah, it looks like LeBron's took it upon himself to finish this ball game out. You got to give the old man credit. When he decides to go to the basket, you can't really stop him. Man. That guy is a tank.
Well, we got a whole segment on USA basketball, so we'll be monitoring the game, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But not much going on around here. I had to work this morning, and then just ready to do the show. Anything going on with you? I know you had to travel today. Everything good with you?
Yeah, I went to Fort Smith, saw my Aunt Claudia. She's in hospice. She's getting real close to the end, but it was good to hug her neck and get that final chance to visit with her and laugh with her a couple times. And she went on and on about how good her nurses in the hospice are. So I want to give a shout out to them. Nice. That's got to be a hard job to do. Come in at the end of life and help people the way that these people do. That's an awesome way to be. And then got to see my grandmother, who is 101 years old. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I said 101 years old.
Wow.
Those people that think they want to live forever, I think you need to meet my grandmother at 101 years old. She has decided that the Lord has forgotten her. She was supposed to go a while back, and he skipped her in line or something.
He's forgot, huh?
She's
doing good.
She's doing real good. She can't hear nothing. She can't see nothing, but she knew who I was, I think.
Yeah.
I said, do you know who I am? And she said, you're my good-looking grandson. She never used my name.
We're going with that then.
But we're going with that. I'm her good-looking grandson. So it was good to see her. She's had a the whole family's had a rough couple of months. We lost one of my cousins in a car accident, a hit and run. Mm-hmm. And then so she had to endure that. She's already lost one of her children. My dad died back in 2004, and now she's losing a daughter in Claudia. And she just, it's hard for her to understand. She doesn't know why she's still here. She thinks all her siblings, her husband, everybody's gone on. She's ready. She is 100% ready, and she can't figure out why she's still hanging around. But she is.
I don't guess I blame her. If I made it to 100, I'd be ready to go too.
Man, 101. I can't even imagine that. I'm 48 right now. 101. That's 50.
What?
That's 53 years away, man. I can't even imagine that. I can't comprehend that. But then again, I couldn't comprehend 48 either, and here I am.
Well, life is fragile, So you got the old, and then you got the new. So I heard you got to see my grandbaby.
Yeah. Your daughter came down and visited.
So you got the babies.
They stayed for about 24 hours, just enough to come visit, swim in the pool.
I got a picture of the pool. I got a picture of them in the pool. So that was cool.
She loved the pool. She thought it was awesome. She's pulling up on stuff. I think I might have made your daughter mad when I was comparing her to the Michelin Man because, but it's not just her. It's all babies. They have that like extra wrinkle on the back of their leg, or it looks like they got rubber bands. They're wearing rubber bands or something like that.
Yeah. Till they start growing. Yeah.
Yeah. Until they start growing. And of course she had to tell me how, she's at a healthy weight. And the doctor, I said, I am not commenting on your parenting.
You're going to give her a complex. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Just chill out, relax.
But
it was good seeing them. And Lacey, of course, just oh, she's goo goo over babies, so she just loved having her around. And
Yeah.
the dogs, she brought Sweets in, and the dimples came out on Amelia. She just loved the Sweets. She thought Sweets was just awesome. So
That's
it was
good.
good. It was good having them down. Now I hear, rumor has it that our 30-year reunions coming up,
Yeah, this is
and
true. This weekend, as a matter of
lu-
fact.
luckily I work weekends and I'm not on Facebook, so I did not get invited.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I invited you.
Yeah, I didn't get an
So
official
you got
invitation, I
there
guess
was
is
no
all I can
official
say.
invitation. You got an invitation. Yeah, I'm our good friend Benji's he's been calling me this week trying to get me to go, and the wife wants to go. So I think we're gonna go. I don't know. It's just, 30 years is a long time. People change. The people that I still talk to are that's the ones I would want to see anyway. So
Well, you read off the list to me of the people that had already uh, said yes to the RSVP or whatever, and I was like, all right, I remember that guy. I do not know who that is. Okay, yeah, I remember that guy. No, I don't remember that person.
yeah. Well,
So,
we'll see. The 20-year was pretty fun. I got kind of tipsy. Not
no,
gonna lie.
no.
Several people got tipsy.
Mm,
So probably wouldn't do that this time. But
no, now, and
I was
your
I
30-year
was
reunion, you start trading stories of your surgeries, things you've had replaced,
yeah.
uh,
That's
things you got to,
grandbabies.
yeah, grandbabies, stuff like that. So,
Actually, I'm a little bit ahead of most people my age. Most people my age still have kids in school, but they're
well,
getting to be teenagers and graduating and that kind of stuff. So they're
most
catching
pe-
up.
most people don't have children at 18.
I know. I was an early,
Yeah,
early bird.
you're heard of it.
Well, we'll see. I'll give you a scoop on that if I do go.
Okay, all right,
Next week I'll give you the scoop on everything.
okay,
I've been watching a lot of Peach Jam, and the Boozer twins have won 3 in a row.
okay,
Cam and Caden Boozer,
all right,
Carlos Boozer's kids.
okay.
You remember him? He's
I
good.
do remember I do remember Carlos Boozer. He was good.
Cam Boozer is really good, man. He's really good. He's kind of like a power forward, small forward, and then the Caden is like a point guard. So you got,
You get to
and they're kind of going to be a package deal when they go to college, supposedly.
okay.
So
So
we're
are
looking
any of these kids being recruited right now by Arkansas? Do you know?
they are being recruited, but I think the favorites right now are Miami because that's where they live,
Okay.
and Duke.
Duke. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
go to Duke. I
Well,
don't
that's where
understand.
Dad went. That's where Dad
Well,
went.
they got that
Yeah.
flag kid, and now they don't pick up the Boozer twins. I don't like Duke. I just
Peach.
don't like Duke.
I know. They're all right. They the Peach Jam though it wasn't just them though. On the other side, you had the number one player from 25 and the number one player from 26 on the other team in the championship game. AJ Devasta is number one, and Tyrone Stokes is number one in the 26 class. But it was really good basketball, man. It was I could watch it better than I could watch the summer league.
Oh yeah. Why is
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. It was just more entertaining, more interesting. I don't know. I just liked it, but it was good. And then I saw today. I sent you a text about this? Did you see the Coach Cal fantasy camp? Did you see
I
this?
did see that. And while we're talking about Coach Cal, I want to send my condolences. I hear that he just lost his dad a week or so ago.
He
Uh,
did.
it's a hard thing to do. I'm sure he was an older gentleman, since Cal is an older gentleman.
He was in his 90s, I heard.
He's in his 90s, so a good long life. Just my prayers and my condolences go out to the Cal family, Calipari family. It's a hard thing to deal with, but
Yeah.
you know, uh,
They just had a camp in Russellville that was like a father-son camp. And I saw some pictures from it. They look pretty fun. I'm glad that he's doing this stuff in the community. He's talking about their scrimmages because they're allowed a couple of scrimmages before the season. He's talking about having one in Hot Springs and one in Pine Bluff. He was like, "We're going to come to you." You know what I mean? I
Well,
like that. I like that.
I think it's smart for recruiting. If you're having trouble keeping your in-state kids in state, why not show them the product a little closer to home? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think
I
it
like
does help recruiting for sure, but I think it's good he's being out in the community, and it's also to raise money. Don't get it twisted. You know,
Well,
uh,
Cal
just
has a
trying
way
to
of Cal has a way of working work into even, his social functions. So that doesn't surprise me.
yeah. And the other big thing, I saw was did you see who's carrying the flag for the United States? Not just their team, but the entire US teams, all the Olympics teams. Did you hear this?
Yeah, you told me who it was earlier, and I don't know how I feel about this, but go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. LeBron James is gonna be carrying the flag. I guess I mean, he's probably the most famous, most popular athlete out of all of them.
I
I'm not sure why. I mean, I know they don't always have to be a current athlete, right? Because they had Muhammad Ali did it one year, didn't he? Or no,
mhm.
that was he lit the torch. Is that the same thing?
I don't think it's the same thing. No,
Right.
the torch will be carried across the country to the stadium, and then
Right.
somebody will take it up there and light the torch.
The
But
last leg.
carrying the flag is just when they do, and it's gonna, for what I understand, this year in Paris, they're doing it on the river. They're going to have the boats filled with the teams from the different countries, and the boats will float past the crowd. So he'll be waving the flag for the U.S. boat as it goes by. I think is what they're talking about.
I
Uh,
see. Just
I,
one boat per country.
I guess. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
get all your players. Wouldn't it be something if one of the boats sank? That would be something, wouldn't it?
Hope it's the swim team. Or the dive team.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they'll be on the boat for sure. Maybe they can help
Yeah.
pull people to the side, but I think it's your whole country is going to be on one boat. It's supposed to be quite the spectacle. They have been advertising it for quite a while. They have
Hmm. I hadn't seen this.
the river that I think it's the I could be wrong here. Okay, I think it's the Thames River. Now that could be up in England somewhere. I'm not familiar with geography, but whatever river it is that they're going to be using in Paris, I've heard
Mhm.
they've gone in, they've thrown in a bunch of dye and everything, trying to make it blue because it's not normally blue.
Uh,
It's kind of a brown, nasty color or
uh,
whatever.
I did hear something about that.
Yeah, so they've been trying to blue it up for this ceremony or whatever.
And even
And
some of that stuff they put in the pools, that stuff works amazing.
well, the stuff in my pool works good, but
Yeah, I
it
forgot some kind of
better
blast.
you better not open your eyes underwater. I can tell you that much.
Well, they don't need to do that. They just need to be able to get in it and not die.
The only thing that I would bring up about LeBron carrying the flag is, uh, it was just a couple of years ago, if I remember right, the NFL and the NBA were kneeling during the national anthem and stuff, and that's a big turnaround to go from doing that to carrying the flag for your country. So, and I don't know, I never really paid attention to that. I don't know if LeBron was one of the ones that was kneeling or part of that or whatever, but um, I don't
Yeah,
know. People have short memories. I don't, but other people do. Other people have short memories. So maybe it won't,
that's
maybe it
fair.
didn't. Yeah.
All right, well, let's just jump right in. I didn't have
No,
anything
now
else.
wait.
Yeah. Do you have anything
All right.
else?
Yeah, we're talking about USA basketball. We got to talk about the women's team
Oh, I'm
getting
not
their.
done. I was just getting to the
Oh,
basketball
okay.
stuff. So,
Okay. All right.
that was just the flag, carrying the flag.
No, okay.
I didn't have anything else for um just beginning topics or whatever just to talk about. That's all I had going on this week was Peach Jam and I wanted to talk to you about Courtney. But yeah, let's jump right into it. We talk about USA basketball. I got men's and women's. The men's team. I didn't see. Did the game go over?
Yeah, no, they won. They won.
Oh, they didn't win.
They
Okay.
win. They won by like 8.
Okay. I didn't see the final like minute or whatever, but I didn't watch the
Uh,
first part of that.
Germany had a good chance to get back into the ball game, but they missed a couple of open threes, and then LeBron hit a three and then took it to the basket
Yeah.
for and one, and the next thing you know, USA pulls away, wins the ball game. Now, what I will say about this is if this was the 1992 team, they'd have won by 50. Okay. It's just my opinion.
I don't know. These teams are a little bit better than they were back then, too. I will say that. I mean, we're not playing Ethiopia. You know what I mean? I mean, come on.
And a lot of these foreign teams also have NBA players on their team. Like Germany right here had Schroeder, and they had who are you saying were the
Wagner boys,
yeah,
Franz and Mo.
Yeah. So, and we watched one the other night. I think it was France. France has a bunch of NBA players.
They all do, yeah.
Spain's got some NBA. Like everybody's got a couple of NBA players, which kind of, evens up the odds a little bit. I'll give you that, but still, come on, man. Mike would have tore them up.
Think how good France's team is going to be in a couple of years.
Yeah, with all the kids that got drafted.
Well, I did watch so far they played Canada, Australia, the men's team, Canada, Australia, Serbia, South Sudan, and then they played Germany today. The South Sudan game was a nail.
South Sudan gave them the best game out of everybody, man.
Dude, they had so much energy, so much.
Well, why wouldn't you
want to? And then I heard that they said that they don't even have a basketball court. They're just a bunch of refugees. And I was like, what? And then one of them is, I mean, some of them are, like, I don't know if there's any pros on that team, but one of them is the kid that's going to Duke with Cooper Flagg.
Oh, okay.
He's a big center or whatever, but he's like highly ranked, whatever.
Well, I mean,
it's known too, but LeBron scores with 8 seconds left to put them up by 1. Okay. They had a shot. They had a jumper that they missed, and they had a putback that either, got blocked or was, tried to be blocked. It was a lot of people crowded around the rim, but a short putback attempt that they missed, or they would have won that game.
Yeah, European rules, you can jump up there and take it off the rim.
Yeah, you can.
So
he missed a wide open jumper that would have won the game.
Well, that's the same way with Germany just a second ago. I mean, the kid had 2 wide open 3-pointers and bricked them both, and it just
you can't do that.
Mm-mm.
So and I watched the Germany game today, and I tell you, man, LeBron, as much as hate as he gets, he still got it, man. He is still one of their better players. Anthony Davis is still one of their better players. I mean, those guys, you can just tell that they make an impact while they're on the floor, and then some of the other guys do too. Obviously, they're all stars and all pros.
I have never once complained about anything that LeBron James has done on the court. Okay. Everything I dislike about LeBron James happens after the whistle blows. Okay. Something he says in the media, some political statement he makes, something like that. That's what irritates me about LeBron. One of the things I loved about Mike was the only time you ever saw him was when he's playing basketball. He didn't come out and talk in the media. He didn't make, outrageous, but he didn't have social media. He might not have been the greatest ever if there was social media.
I mean, he was already worldwide. Think how big he'd have been if he'd been social media.
Well, he'd have been big, but would anybody have liked him?
I don't know if he'd have been bigger. I mean, he's Michael Jordan.
Because, I mean, come on, man. I mean, if you watch The Last Dance, which I think most people that like Michael Jordan watch The Last Dance, you come away with that thinking he's kind of an a-hole. I mean, I think if he had social media, he might not have been as popular as he was, just because he kind of rubs people the wrong way when you actually talk to him.
He's a well-known womanizer too.
Well, hey, when you got money, that's going to happen.
Yeah, him and Tiger hanging out in the clubs. Anyway, the women's team, I look back at them. They've played Belgium, Nigeria, Senegal. They won all 3 of those, and then they
got their butts whooped by the WNBA team. Okay, butt whooped. All right. There were some girls on that WNBA team that got left off of the USA team that were out there to prove a point. The girl that won the MVP ended up scoring like 33 points. She was on fire.
Yeah, so she had 22 in the third or something like that alone.
There was a moment where Caitlin Clark and what's her name, Angel Reese, gave each other a high five. I thought, oh, that'll blow up the internet tomorrow. Those two can't be getting along.
Yeah.
What I saw from the USA women's team though was the WNBA team came out and they were playing at just a rapid pace. I mean, they were up and down the court, just chunking it. I mean, as fast as they could get up and down the court.
Mhm.
And instead of the USA team slowing the ball down and taking advantage of what they got inside with Brittany Griner and the other girl, I can't ever remember her name. Wilson.
AJ, yeah.
Dude, those two inside should have dominated the game, but instead they decided to play at this frenetic pace with the WNBA girls, and the WNBA girls just put it to them. I mean, they just played, and I knew it was going to be a problem when we got to the end of the first quarter and USA was only up 2. And then when we got to the fourth quarter, the USA team just went cold and the WNBA team just could not miss. And I was like, there's going to be headlines tomorrow about, I can't believe they left such and such off the USA team. La, 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 la.
Yeah. Well, USA team's still good, but now we got to get it real, get locked in for the real thing next week.
And I would give props. I'll give props to the WNBA, man. Their all-star game and their all-star event before with the 3-point contest and the skills competition, it was good. I mean, they put on a good show. They put on and I like the idea of playing the USA team. That was awesome. It gave them some practice time, and at the same time, you get to go up against the best. Yeah. So it was very entertaining. I give a lot of props to the WNBA. I think they're coming along, man. I think it won't be too long, and they'll be able to subsidize themselves. And some of these girls are going to start getting some of them big contracts that the men make.
Yeah, I saw they're looking into expansion already. That and they're going to want to add games. They want to add 4 more games to the season because they only play, I think, 40. They want to
they don't play near as many as the men do.
Yeah,
they don't have as many teams either. They only have like 18 teams or something like that.
Yeah. They're wanting to, they're wanting to expand, and they're wanting to expand their season. So that'd be good for them too. I actually don't mind watching it. Of course, I've always kind of been a women's basketball fan because I had daughters, so I was around that a lot when they were young, and just fell in love with watching that side of the game. I remember when I was a kid, when I grew up in Oklahoma, they had 3-on-3. You could only go to half court.
Yeah.
3 offense, 3 defense. Yeah. You could only go to half court. You had to stop. Like if you went over half court, that was a blow the whistle. That was a penalty. Yeah. And from there, even that was awesome. I love that stuff. That was super fun. I didn't know they played 5-on-5 everywhere. I didn't know that. I thought that's where way it was everywhere. 3-on-3. Like, what is this? Girls playing 5-on-5? That's crazy. I grew up in the sticks. Let's just put it that way.
That's okay, man. My mom told stories. She grew up in a town of like 300 people. And she told stories of 3-on-3, and everywhere they went, they played 3-on-3. She also told stories of playing in a gym one time that had a pole in the middle of it. In the middle, like where half court circle is, there was a pole, and the team that played there, I can't remember who it was, but the team who played there used it like as screens and stuff. They would use it for screening and run plays.
I would too if it was there. So anyway, I guess we're done with the tune-up games, the scrimmages or whatever. Now we're fixing to get into the real deal next week with the Olympics, and so that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's also like time-wise, what time am I needing to watch the Olympics? Like when it is broadcast, when it's going on over there, is it going to be the middle of the night here? Because I remember my dad telling Like when USA beat Russia, the Miracle on Ice, and Al Michaels had the huge call, and all that. That happened at like 2:00 in the morning. Like they got up out of bed and went to the TV at 2:00 in the morning to watch it. So I'm wondering what's the time frame here? Like when do I need to be watching the Olympics?
I don't know. I don't think they do it 24/7 like that
No,
anymore. Because like they have a sign off time. Like they stop broadcast. It's late though. I don't know how late, but and I don't know. That's a good question. I guess the schedule will come out. If it's not out already, it should come out soon.
because I'm willing to get up at midnight to watch a basketball game. I don't know if I get up at midnight to watch pole vaulting, but I'll get up at midnight to watch some basketball.
Yeah, I would too. I might be up anyway. So, but yeah. So anyway, that's going to be starting next week. So, and I think we'll do
I
well.
think the opening ceremonies are the 26th. So that
Okay.
would be Saturday night, maybe
4 days. It's Friday night.
Friday night. I think are the
think so,
opening
yeah.
ceremonies. That's when you can see LeBron go by on the boat waving the flag. If everybody wants to tune in for that.
Yeah. All right. Enough NBA and USA basketball.
All right.
Let's jump into our NFL.
Okay.
So this week we're going to talk about we're going to do our NFL predictions.
Our
for
way too early NFL predictions.
way
Okay?
too early. NFL
Way-
division, our division winners, and then our 3 wild card teams.
3 wild card teams. Yeah.
And then out of that, we'll pick an AFC, champion,
Okay.
AFC or NFC champion,
All right. All right.
and then you got to pick your Super Bowl winner.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
All right, all
I'm
right.
in.
So let's start. We'll start with the AFC East. And, let me pull up this right quick. But you got the Jets, you got the Dolphins, Patriots, and the Bills. You want to?
So you want me to go first? You want to go
Yeah.
first?
Why don't you go first? Go for it.
Okay, AFC East, I'm picking the Dolphins. Dolphins have come out of the AFC East. I think the Bills take a step back. They lost Stephon Diggs. They got a bunch of unproven receivers. Not saying they're not good. They could end up being really good for Josh Allen, but pretty much they have Josh Allen is pretty much what they have. And Josh Allen, I think, gets you maybe 9 wins this year, but I think you missed the playoffs. I think you just barely missed the playoffs this year with the Bills.
The Bills. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said Dolphins.
So I'm taking the Dolphins out of there. Who else did you say was in there? The Steelers?
No, you got Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
Yeah, Patriots. Come on, man. I mean,
they're rebuilding.
I hope this May kid is outstanding, and I hope he ends up becoming the next Tom Brady for those guys. But come on, he's just not proven. I can't put him in the playoffs his first year. Not saying he can't do it, saying that I ain't gonna put him there. Okay, so
gotcha.
So Patriots are out, and then the other team was who?
Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, and Bills.
Jets. Okay.
Yeah.
Jets.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I took the Jets. I'm picking the Jets. I think Rodgers is going to bounce back, comeback player of the year incoming. I think he'll win that. I think they'll win a lot of games. I think they'll win the division.
I think the Jets will end up doing what they always do, falling flat on their face, and they'll probably be last in their division. That's what I think.
Nah.
And until I'm proven otherwise, I'm sorry. The Jets have sucked consistently for a long time, and I just don't see it changing.
Yeah, well, I think they got it. I think they got to turn around this year.
Well, every year I hear, oh man, they got the best defense in the league. Since Rex Ryan, they got the best defense in the league. Their offense is looking good. Oh, this Darnold kid's he's the savior. No, Darnold didn't work. What about Sanchez? No, Sanchez sucks. What about this guy? No, this guy sucks. Oh, we finally got Aaron Rodgers. Popped Achilles. I'm sorry, man. I just don't.
It may be a bad luck. They may be cursed.
Yeah, they got some sort of Clippers curse going on them, man.
I'm picking them anyway. I'm taking the Jets in the division. I think it's their year. All right. Now we got the AFC North.
AFC North.
You got Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers.
That's out of the North? I thought they were the West. They're the North.
No, the AFC North, yeah.
Okay.
Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. I'm taking Baltimore to win the
Most people,
division.
most people are. Most people are taking Baltimore. I took the
I just
Bengals.
don't.
I
You
took the
took the
Bengals.
Bengals.
I took the Bengals. I think a healthy Joe Burrow. They make the playoffs last year. They had 9 wins.
Mm,
Burrow goes down. Joe Burrow is back. He's got weapons. Chase is on his contract year, so you know he's going to have a killer year.
yeah.
I just see the Bengals, and I think the Ravens actually took a little bit of a step backwards defensively, not offensively, because they picked up Derrick Henry, but defensively, I feel like they took a couple steps back. They lost a couple of key players, so I
This
do
was
not have the Ravens winning it.
Did you have the Ravens?
No, I got the Bengals winning it. I
The
do
Bengals?
not have the Ravens winning it.
I thought this was one of the easier ones to pick for me. I don't think the Bengals are going to bounce back. I think I have them as a wild card team, to be honest, but I don't think they're going to win the division. Cleveland is Cleveland. I mean, come on, they're going to be talked about as being good, but are they got to prove it? And
Oh yeah.
Pittsburgh, I just think they're reaching. They went and got Russell. I think that's a reach. I just don't think they're going to
Oh,
have a
the
good year.
Steelers. Steelers.
Yeah.
What I hear every time the Steelers are talked about is that Russell Wilson's going to start off the year, and then at some time during the year, Justin Fields is going to take over. Well, I got news for you. In that division, and in the AFC, you can't afford to replace your quarterback halfway through. If Justin Fields is going to be your guy, he needs to be your guy from the beginning. If Russell's going to be your guy, he needs to be your guy from the beginning.
Yeah.
But the only way that I see Justin Fields coming in and replacing Russell is if Russell's doing bad. And if Russell's doing bad, your year's already freaking shot because you're in the AFC. Okay. So you can't wait till halfway through the season to put the kid in. If the kid's the way you want to go, then you need to put the kid in now.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I just think I think it's going to be too much. I think the Ravens are too much. So, all right. So AFC South, we've got the Texans, Colts, Jaguars, and the Titans. Who you got in the South?
Come on, this is the easiest pick out of all of them. The Texans. How do you not pick the Texans? CJ Stroud lit it up. I mean, come on. And they picked up. Who'd they pick up? They picked up Diggs, didn't they?
Diggs, yeah, Diggs.
Yeah, they picked up Diggs. Come on, man. They are going to tear it up, man. This kid. Now there is a chance that he has a sophomore slump and he doesn't perform as well as he did because I don't know why that happens, but it does happen sometimes. Sometimes the second year is not as good as the first.
I think there's a couple of reasons, but one is the defense is after they get a first look at somebody, they know your ticks. They know every tick you got.
But I got to take the Texans out of this. You can't take Jacksonville. Jacksonville sucks, and
nah, they're gonna be all right.
No, Jacksonville's going to suck just like they did last year. Unless Trevor Lawrence turns it around. Now, you talk about somebody who had a sophomore slump. He had a sophomore slump.
He's been decent, though.
He has been decent, but they didn't do anything to
They made the playoffs last year. They made a little run.
I just don't see it, man. Jacksonville, they're not in the picture.
I'm taking Houston to win anyway. So
also, one of the things that led me into picking the teams that I picked, too, is because it happens every year, okay? 12 teams make the playoffs. Is that right? Yeah. No.
14.
Anyway, 14. 14 teams make the playoffs, okay? Half of those will not make the playoffs the next year, okay? Yep. So you can't go by what happened last year. All right, Jacksonville made the playoffs last year. Yeah, lucky shot.
You just talked up Houston and CJ Stroud because of last year, so you can't say
that. I also threw in the sophomore slump thing. I'm telling you, this is not. I'm just saying there's going to be at least 4 or 5 teams in the playoffs this year that were not there last year.
That's very possible.
And trying to pick which teams it's going to be, because who picked the Detroit Lions last year? Anybody other than the Detroit Lion fans? I mean, come on, man. Detroit was on fire last year.
I'm picking them this year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Who'd
okay,
you take?
yeah, I took Houston as well. I think they're going to be really good again. I think the Jags will contest with them. I don't think they're better than them. I don't think the Titans are going to be very good, and I don't think the Colts. The Colts should be decent. It depends on how Anthony Richardson does this year. If he stays healthy, we'll see. They look promising as well. That's a pretty tough division, to be honest with you. That can go either way, but I'm taking Houston as well. All right, one more division in the AFC. We got the AFC West.
This is the easiest one to pick.
Yeah, probably so. Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers.
Got to be the Broncos, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's going to be the Chiefs until you dethrone the champs. You can't really like throw the champs out. So, got to put the Chiefs in there.
I agree. Chiefs are going to win. I think the Chargers are rebuilding. Give them a year or two. Denver, nah. I don't know, man. They're rebuilding as well. Raiders.
Denver ends up 1-16.
This is just a weak.
Yeah. Out of the AFC, this is the weakest division. This is the weakest division.
I think so too. Chiefs are going to run away with it. They have since Mahomes got there anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So then we got 3 AFC wildcard teams. My 3 wildcard teams are Jacksonville, Cincinnati, and Miami, which you picked all of those as division winners. So we both see them as playoff teams. So.
My three wild cards are the Browns, okay, the Ravens,
okay,
and the Colts.
Okay. Yeah, we're definitely different.
I think Anthony Richardson he showed flashes of really, really good stuff last year, and he just got hurt. So I think with another year under his belt and healthy, I think the Colts got a real good shot at not just being a wild card team, but I think they might actually challenge a little bit for their little division that they got.
Okay. All right. So my 7: Jets, Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Jags, Bengals, Dolphins. My AFC champion, Baltimore Ravens.
Wow, you're really going in on Lamar.
I'm high on Baltimore. I think they're really good. I think their defense is freaking awesome. I think Lamar's going to run all over the place. I think they got some threats at the wide receiver. Their tight end is all pro. Yeah. Give me Baltimore to take the AFC.
I got Dolphins, Bengals, Texans, and Chiefs as champs. Browns, Ravens, and Colts as wild cards. I'm going to take the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals out of the AFC.
Really?
I believe in Joe Burrow that much. I think both of his wide receivers are on contract years. They improved the offensive line. So I'm going to take the Bengals.
All right. Well, we're different, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, again, way too early predictions.
Way too early. Now come talk to me week 4, and we'll do these predictions all over again.
We haven't had many OTAs and stuff to fix the start and stuff. So we're way ahead. But anyway, okay. All right. So remember your team. Who'd you say was your? You said Bengals. Let me write this down.
Yeah, I just wrote it down on my Boomer papers I got over here. I wrote down
Boomer
on my Boomer papers over here.
Okay, NFC. Let's start with the NFC East. Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Commanders. Who you taking? As if I didn't know.
I got to go with America's team. America's team wins the NFC, loses in the playoffs, just like always. I'm going to take. Actually, I don't think I'm going to take the Cowboys to win the NFC, but I do have them winning their division. Their division this year is probably the hardest division in the NFC, with the Commanders, who are looking pretty decent with their new young quarterback, Daniels. And, of course, you always got those stupid Eagles. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Most people are. That's okay.
Yeah, I just think Jalen has a big year. Their wide receivers, their defense, they drafted well.
Here's a
They are,
here's
they're
a bold prediction for you. Okay, a
all
bold
right.
prediction. And you're not going to like this because of your fantasy team, okay?
Oh no.
But by week 10, they're asking where the Jalen Hurts is from last year.
Mm. Well, they started off really hot last year and then stunk it up
Yeah,
for the end of the year. So
exactly. And
hopefully that doesn't continue.
that same kid's going to show up.
Nah, he's a winner. He's a
Yeah.
winner.
He was in college.
He's a
Oh,
winner here too.
wait. He wasn't in college, was he?
Yeah, he was not a
Is he?
champion, but
He
yeah,
was. Wasn't he the
he's a
kid
champion.
that got passed over at Alabama after a year of starting, and then had to go to
Yeah,
Oklahoma and lose
yeah.
at Oklahoma?
You mean he
Yeah.
got benched at Alabama and then came back and won the game for him, and then was a stud. So he went to Oklahoma, was a Heisman Trophy finalist, and all that stuff. Yeah, that same dude. Yeah,
Finalist, please.
yeah, same dude. Yeah, he's a stud.
Aaron
Okay,
McFadden was finalist.
all right. NFC North. You got the Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. Who you got?
Lions.
Lions. Okay.
Took the Lions out of that one. Dan Campbell, ex-Cowboy, great head coach. Doesn't screw with the media, tells it like it is. I just like Detroit, man. I also like Detroit because they've sucked for so long. It's nice to see them actually accomplishing some stuff, you know. It's
Yeah,
like when my Cowboys are doing well. I feel really good about it. I do.
it's like rooting for an underdog, right?
It really is all the time. All the time.
It kind of is. I like the Lions too. I think Goff will have a big year. They're talking MVP caliber type year. We'll see about that.
We'll see. I mean,
But yeah, I'm taking the Lions as well. NFC South, you got Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Bucks.
yeah.
Who you taking in this one?
I'm gonna take the Bucks, man. I'm going with Baker Mayfield.
Taking the Bucks. All right.
Dude, he has proven that he's a good quarterback. He went to LA for like on a 24-hour trip and ended up winning a ball game for him. Goes down to Tampa and turns that team around and gets into the playoffs. I just really, really like Baker Mayfield. He's got the same weapons he had last year. He's still got Mike Evans and that other
Godwin.
kid, Godwin.
Mm.
Got
They
a
got a good
decent,
receiver too.
got a decent tight end. I'm telling you, man, I'm liking the Bucks. And their division is really weak. Saints, come on, man, Saints. I just
Saints
don't
are-
see it. I don't see it. And who else is in there?
Panthers, they're gonna,
Panthers.
they'll win a couple games, but they're, coming back. I actually hot take, shocker. I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons.
Wow. Okay.
I think they're gonna win the division, because this is such a weak division.
It is weak. It is a weak division.
I just couldn't pick anybody beating them. And then you got Cousins down there now. You got Bijan Robinson running that ball. I just think they're gonna be better.
Cousins is an interesting story.
Yeah, especially
part
with
of
the
me,
big deal.
part of me really, really would like him to go down there and do really well, because he's just a good guy. He's just a really nice, good guy. If you ever see him speak or talk to media or anything, he's just a dude. He's just a really good dude. And so I'd like to see him succeed. I'd also like to see him fall on his face because it's the Atlanta Falcons and they're in the NFC against my Cowboys. So, he can do well in every game except when they face the Cowboys. That would be okay with me.
Odell's going to be yelling at me for picking the Falcons over the Saints, but man, I just like you. I don't see it with the Saints. They're just it's up over there right now.
Odell needs to go suit up for the Saints. He'd help them out a little bit because they suck.
All right, NFC West. You got Cardinals, Rams,
Niners,
Seahawks.
Niners. There's
Nope.
I hate saying it since I'm a Cowboys fan, but the Niners are loaded. They got a Purdy quarterback that can throw the ball around. I don't know what it is about the Niners. It's like when Joe Montana goes to the bench, Steve Young walks in. It's like, it's what the heck? Well, y'all can't ever have a bad quarterback. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Even when old what's his name, Cap was their quarterback, they were killing it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, they went
It
Super
just
Bowl.
it just oh man. I hate to say it, but the Niners, I'll take the Niners.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners too. Now I think the Cardinals will be a lot better. They got the number one
I'm
pick,
not sold.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Kyler Murray. I just am not.
I think they're gonna be better.
He stays banged up. He's little bitty. I just
Yeah.
not sold on Kyler Murray.
Okay. Well, I think they're gonna push the Niners this year. I think the Rams are probably gonna fall off a little bit, and the Seahawks they're gonna fall off a little bit. Both, the Seahawks had the coach change, right? Because Pete Carroll's gone now.
Yeah, who is their coach now?
I forget who their coach is, but um, yeah, I just don't. They're just gonna be rebuilding. You know what I mean? Okay, so I got Eagles, Lions, Falcons, Niners. You got Cowboys, Lions, Bucks, Niners.
Yeah.
My 3 wild card teams are the Arizona Cardinals,
Okay.
the Dallas Cowboys, and the Green Bay Packers.
I've got no problem as a Dallas Cowboy fan coming in as a wild card. I just like making the playoffs, so that does not bother me at all.
Mhm.
I have the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
I got the Chicago Bears,
Oh,
and I've got the
okay.
Washington Commanders.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you're out there a little bit.
Yeah, I think the Bears have improved at every position. They got a good young quarterback. Now, if they ruin him like they have the other quarterbacks, then it's going to be same old in Chicago. If they
Mhm.
actually, the guy that supposedly did Justin Fields wrong as far as coaching him or whatever is gone. They got a new OC in, uh,
Okay.
and they've really improved at every position. They got some dynamic young receivers.
I do.
I think they're going to be good, man. I think they're going to be good. And the Commanders, I'm basing this off Jaden Daniels. I would like to see Jaden Daniels. I think he's got the tools. I feel the same way about the kid in Baltimore, or not Baltimore, in Indianapolis, uh,
Richardson.
Richardson. I just feel like both of them have the talent. They have the body. They have the physique. They have the passing ability. Can they put it all together? Can they catch up with the speed of the game? I hope so, because I got them picked. I'm taking the Commanders as a wild card team.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have either one of them making the playoffs. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep this somewhere and save it. And
Okay.
we'll look back on this one day.
Yeah.
All right. So my NFC champion is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Really? Took them over the Niners. Really?
I did. I think the Niners are about done. I think they've made their little run. I think teams are gonna. I just don't. I just don't see them making another run to the Super Bowl. Taking the Niners, huh?
I'm taking the Niners. I'm taking
Mm,
the Niners out of the NFC. Unless something happens during the year, some major injuries or something like that.
yeah,
They've got the most complete team in the NFL. I think they're better than the Kansas City Chiefs, because if Dre Greenlaw doesn't blow his Achilles tendon running into the ball game last year, didn't even get to play a snap in the Super Bowl, I don't think Mahomes has the game that he has. And I think maybe the Niners walk away the champions last year. I think that injury to Dre Greenlaw was huge. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Hog fan either. That kid makes a difference. He's the team leader on defense. And that defense was not the same in the Super Bowl as they had been the whole year.
yeah.
So I'm taking the Niners.
Okay.
And like I said, barring injury, something major,
Yeah. Well, of course, with all these teams, at least you're starting
I mean,
quarterback. That hurts bad.
you've always got to worry about, Deshaun
All right.
Watson going to court or somebody getting hurt or whatever.
All right. So my Super Bowl matchup: Baltimore Ravens versus Philadelphia Eagles.
I got the Bengals facing the 49ers.
Bengals 49ers. Wow, you going old school rematch. I'm taking the Ravens. I think this is their year.
Ravens win the Super Bowl this year.
Ravens win the Super Bowl. Write it down. That's what I'm
I
saying.
just did. I just
I could
wrote it
be
down.
I could be totally wrong, but just what I'm seeing so far on paper and what I've been watching and reading and looking and watching last year and all that stuff, like, just my personal opinion. I'm not a professional.
Yeah.
I am not a professional, so don't be betting lines based on what I say. But I'm taking the Ravens to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, I got the Bengals facing the 49ers, and this is tough for me because I'm pretty sure if I had to watch the Super Bowl, I would root for the Bengals. But I think the 49ers win it. So I'm going to take the 49ers as your Super Bowl champs.
You think they finally get over the hump, huh?
I think they finally get over the hump. McCaffrey gets him a ring.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like it. Now, let me phrase this as well as I can. I do not like my picks. Okay. I don't like this. I want the Cowboys to win every ball game, go undefeated, and win the Super Bowl. That's what I want.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what
probably not going to happen. But I don't blame you for wanting that. All right. Well, that was a cool segment. I like that stuff. All right. So last thing to talk about, we got our top 5 segment today.
Top 5.
Top.
This
5.
This is not really a top 5. This is more like a bottom 5, isn't it?
It sort of is. Yes. Top 5 sports busts of all time. Yeah. And it could be any sport. Let's see. I guess I stuck to pretty much basketball and football, but it could be any sport.
My 5 are in basketball and football. There,
okay.
I couldn't think of a Major League Baseball flop. I couldn't think of one.
It's hard because they basically go to the
they go to the minor leagues and they don't put them in the show till they're good. So I mean, you don't really get.
That's true.
You don't. I mean, I'm sure there are number 1 picks from 6 years ago that are still in the minor leagues, and that's probably considered a bust. But but I don't know them, so it's kind of hard to say that.
Okay, well, give me one and let's talk about it.
All right, number 1 on my list, Jamarcus Russell. Anybody remember Jamarcus Russell? Played for LSU, got drafted by the Raiders. You remember that guy?
Yeah, I do remember that guy. Yes.
Yeah, played 1 season for him. Showed up to camp like, I don't know, 40 pounds overweight, something like that. Was lazy, didn't want to do anything. 52% pass completion. All right, touchdowns to interceptions, 18-23. Okay, so he threw more interceptions than he did touchdowns. 25 fumbles, 15 of them lost.
Oh, geez.
Okay? Yeah. And besides that, he was always in trouble off the field too. I think later on in life, he actually ended up getting involved in some sort of shooting or something down in Baton Rouge or something like that.
Or something like that.
Drafted first overall.
Yep. Yeah, I remember Jamarcus. I thought he was going to do well when he came out. Everybody thought he was going to do well when he came out.
He had all the talent.
I think they just won the Sugar Bowl or something like that too. Like they beat like Notre Dame or somebody big. I forget who it was, but
that was back when
and he could throw the ball like 80 yards in the air.
The kids, this is back in the day when we didn't have a guaranteed national champion. And so we had seasons every once in a while where one team would say, well, we should have won the national championship. And the other team's like, no, we should have won the national championship. And they both had the same record. And this was one of those years, I believe. LSU had like 11-1 and Alabama was like 11-1 or something like that. And
was it?
Have any kind of playoff system or anything back then. So, they both said, we're national champs. Yeah.
Co-national champs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good one. He was definitely a bust, I would say for sure. Number 1, I don't know if it's number 1.
I didn't. I said number 1. That's just the first one I did. If I had to rank him, I'd say he's number 5.
Okay. Well, first one on my list is Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie. He's one of my honorable mentions.
he just, I mean, if you get picked over Michael Jordan, I mean, from now on, for the rest of your life, you're going to be compared to that, and
The
he will never live up to. He can never live up to that. You know what I mean? He never will. So that's why I put him on my list.
Okay, well, Sam Bowie, the reason he didn't make my list is because he got kind of a bad situation. All right. You go in between Akeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan. Okay.
Mhm.
He gets hurt. He fractures his foot. He actually played like 11 seasons in the NBA. He averaged about 12 points a ball game. He was actually probably, if the man gets drafted in the second round, he's not a bust. It's the fact that he got drafted between Akeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan, which made Sam Bowie a bust.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Well,
I didn't put him on my list.
that's
Right?
what a bust is. That's what a bust is, being picked high when
And
you shouldn't have.
here's my question. I was going to pose to you during this segment. Okay, is it really Sam Bowie who busted, or is it the L.A. Lakers who drafted him that busted?
I don't know. Was it the Lakers that drafted him?
Yeah, or I don't know if it was the Lakers. I know he played for the Lakers at one point.
Yeah, I don't know who drafted him, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you draft a
Well, you can say
kid,
that about all these guys, though. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, were Chicago Bulls just a better team that year because they
They just
drafted a better player?
apparently they were better at looking at talent. I mean, I guess you could blame it. I mean, I know the player is going to take the brunt of the
Plus, it all depends on what the
nation.
team needs at the time. Like the team passed on Michael Jordan and drafted Sam Bowie because they needed a big man. They didn't need a guard.
I know who it was. It was Portland.
It was Portland.
Because
That's right. That
they
is
already
right.
had Drexler,
Yeah.
so they didn't think they needed another shooting guard.
They didn't need Michael Jordan. And
Yeah.
Akeem Olajuwon had already went. So you go with the next big man on the ballot. I can't put that on Sam Bowie. You know, I can put it on Jamarcus Russell. Kid shows up overweight, doesn't want to play, he's lazy, gets in trouble off field.
Yeah,
That's a bust on his part. Sam
Okay.
Bowie, I just couldn't put him on the list.
I
Even though a lot of people consider him a bust.
I do.
All right,
All right.
my number 2 would be Greg Oden. Now this is a bust. All right, number 1 overall. He only played 1 year at Ohio State. He looked like when he got drafted, he looked like a 50-year-old man. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. He doesn't even play. He gets hurt in summer league, breaks his foot. His average 2.9 points a game, 2.3 rebounds. He's 7'4". He could only get 2 rebounds, 55% from the field.
He probably only played 2 minutes a game or something.
It's ridiculous. Greg Oden and Portland. I believe that was Portland. So again, is the bust Greg Oden, or is it Portland who drafted Sam Bowie and Greg Oden?
True. All right. Well, the second one on my list, he wasn't highly drafted. Well, he was highly drafted, but not. But Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
I figure he's a bust because he was highly touted. He was Mr. Football, all that stuff. He could have had a good career, but he just pissed it away.
He wanted to party.
He just wanted to be a little rich kid and party and just wasted it. So yeah, he's a bust to me.
And again, he was that way when he was at Texas Tech or A&M.
A&M. Yeah, they covered it up. They covered all that.
He was that way. So if you're a team drafting, that's something you need to know about that player before you draft him.
For sure. All right, who's next on your list?
I got Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown. He's a bust.
He's a bust, dude.
He played for a while.
He played for a while. Yeah. You know what is at 6 foot or 1.9 points a game. This is a guy that got picked first. 1.9 point. Yeah. Did he come out of high school? He might have. 3.4 rebounds a game. Okay. 45.9% from the field. And it might be the only time that I can say this, but Michael Jordan's the idiot that wanted to draft him.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Kwame was definitely highly touted coming out, but did not amount to much.
It did not
That's a good
amount
one.
to much at all.
That's a good one. All right. Next on my list, Brian Bosworth. And that one pains me to say because when I was a kid, I grew up in Oklahoma and I was a huge Oklahoma fan. My cousin had the Boz hairdo with the paint in his hair and everything, like the whole deal. We were huge Oklahoma fans, and so that one pains me to say because I was a big fan and I hoped he did well, but he got to the NFL, he got hurt, and his body just wasn't made for the big boy football like the rest, like he
Well,
needed to be. He had weak shoulders.
he
So you can't be
did
a linebacker and have weak shoulders.
he did too many steroids.
Well, that too.
He did too many steroids. He couldn't even play in the Orange Bowl game, remember, because he had got suspended for steroids.
Yeah, I know.
And then if you're going, and Boz is one of the very first self promoters. There was no bigger fan of Brian Bosworth than Brian Bosworth, and he would let you know that. And if you're going to act that way and you get to the NFL, you better do something. And when Bo Jackson ran over his butt and ran him over, okay,
It wasn't that bad.
it was pretty bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Pretty bad. Stepped on his face, I'm pretty sure.
Stiff armed him, and ain't that bad.
All I can say is that was pretty much the end of Boz. Now, had a pretty good movie career. He got a movie out there called Stone Cold that's actually pretty entertaining. I kind of enjoyed it.
I like that movie actually too.
But as far as a football player, no, he did not.
He's also in those Dr. Pepper commercials now. He's actually more popular than he used to be, probably. He's kind of a jerk for a while, but now he's kind of made a comeback as kind of a nice guy kind of guy, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was on my list. That's 3 out of my 5. Who's next on your list?
Number 4 on my list would be Ryan Leaf. Remember Ryan Leaf?
I do. He made my list as well.
Yeah. 655 pass completions. 317 incompletions, 48% completion, 14 touchdowns, 36 interceptions.
Oh,
Ryan Leaf sucked. Okay. And then when his coaches told him that he sucked, he cried like a little baby.
Yeah, he was. He had some mental problems for sure.
But then again,
and they held the whole big deal about him coming out too, and him and Peyton and stuff, and who's he going to pick, and who you going to pick, and who you going to take. Man, how the Chargers miss out on 2 Mannings?
The Chargers are, again, is Ryan Leaf the bust, or is it the Chargers?
Could be the Chargers on this one because they missed out on 2 Mannings.
Yeah,
that's tough. I wonder if that's why Eli didn't want to go there, was because of that, because they didn't pick Peyton.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, he was on my list as well. Right. The last guy on my list is a little less known probably, but Tony Mandridge.
Tony Mandridge made number 5 on my list too.
Mr. All-World Offensive Lineman, came out on the cover of Sports Illustrated. The incredible bulk.
I do remember that.
Looked like a freaking bodybuilder because, he was roiding up himself.
Looked like a pro wrestler.
And then he got to the NFL and he couldn't do that anymore, and he wasn't stronger than everybody anymore, and he got his butt kicked every day. So
okay, so
yeah, Tony Mandridge.
6'5", 324 pounds, tackle. Drafted by the Green Bay Packers. I remember that article you're talking about. They had a list of what he ate every meal. It was ridiculous, like his grocery bill. Now, you got to remember, this is the 90s. So, and his grocery bill was like $230 a week or something like that. It was ridiculous, the amount of food that he ate. And they just talked about him. Now, here's what's crazy. All right. Tony Mandridge was picked 2nd in the 1989 draft. Okay.
All right.
in the top 5 in the NFL draft that year was number 1, Troy Aikman, then Tony Mandridge, then Barry Sanders, then Derek Thomas, then Deion Sanders.
Holy crap.
So out of the top 5, he is the only one not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now, again, is that Tony Mandridge's fault or the Green Bay Packers who passed up on Barry Sanders, Derek Thomas, and Deion Sanders?
Wow. Dang, Packers fans. That's got to hurt a little bit.
That's got to hurt a little bit right there.
Yeah. I did not know that. I didn't realize that draft was that like that, the top 5.
89 draft, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's just too much steroids, man. Too many.
Well,
like a lot of players in that time period. That was the thing. That was the thing, was to do that.
Well, that was the same time steroids hit baseball. Steroids hit the WWE, which at the time was the WWF.
Yep.
There was steroid scandals going on everywhere. So these kids coming out of college had to quit taking it when they went in the pros. So, and that stuff, like you talk about Boz having weak shoulders, it's been proven that steroids over time, what do they call it? It hurts your bone. It like deteriorates your bones and stuff. It can also shrink your testicles, boys. So y'all listen, don't be doing steroids, okay?
Yeah. True that.
This was before human growth hormone.
Don't do drugs. Drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Except the ones that are good.
Yeah, don't do real drugs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, real drugs.
Anyway, I guess that's anything else on that?
Some of that prescribed stuff, if you ever listen to the side effects, I wouldn't take that stuff either.
No, I don't need no annual bleeding.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It makes me that that's horrible. Anything else to add to that before we jump out?
No, man. It was a good show. I enjoyed this, man. I think, if we just kind of recap here, Tony Mandridge sucks. Ryan Leaf sucks. The 49ers. Yeah, the 49ers suck, but I'm picking them for the Super Bowl.
10-4. All right. Well, before we get out, we just want to, again, remind everybody that we are mental health is super important to us. If you're struggling or know someone who is struggling, you can point them to the national hotline, which is 988. Please seek help. Don't do life alone. That's our motto. Don't do life alone. Get some help. Be help to someone else if they need it.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you got to be is an ear to listen. So that's all that person needs. So if you know somebody, listen to them. And if you can't help them, point them in that direction of that number, 988. They'll help you out. They talk several different languages. They'll stay on the phone with you for 24 hours if you want.
That's right. And if I didn't say this at the very beginning, so if you're still watching or still listening, press like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow us on Twitter at the Bleachers Pod. We love hearing from you and interacting with you, and we look forward to continue to growing. So we appreciate anyone that's watching or listening, and we'll catch you next time. Peace and love.
Peace.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.